my channel. My name is Just a Fun Guy. If you see that this video is not full screen, I'm in full screen. My camera doesn't agree with the game. Let's get that out of the way. And today, have you always wanted a flourishing, beautiful city like this on SimCity 4? No, population of over 2 million. The money is from a mod, but regardless, if you always wanted a lot of money in your city, well, I'll show you how to create a beautiful, flourishing city like this on SimCity 4. Yes, the game does have tutorials, but let's say you've tried the tutorials and they just don't work. Well, I will go step by step on how to create a beautiful, flourishing city on SimCity 4. Let's get started. First things first, if you want a nice, successful city, you're going to want neighbors. You're going to want people coming from the other city to come live or work in your city. Let's pick a city that has at least 1 or 2 neighbors. Let's do, you have a large city, a mid-sized city, and a small city. We got a lot of small cities that are surrounded. But in this case, I think I'll do a mid-sized city. And as you can see, the city doesn't necessarily have all that many neighbors. Let's name this city... YouTubeopolis. What's the CEO of YouTube's name? Idiot Dictator. Let's establish a city. And with my only neighborly connection, be put in the city. And when it comes to a road system, you don't want your roads all willy-nilly. You want a nice grid pattern, like in every other city. There are some cities that don't necessarily have a grid pattern, but when it comes to SimCity 4, and your grid pattern doesn't necessarily have to be all that small or all that big. Like, this is 11 squares. You want it more like 7 or 8 squares. So like, I'm going to cut this in half. Right there. And you do this with this side and the other side. Now, when it comes to SimCity 4, what's going to take up a majority of the time is the roads. The population will fill itself in no time, especially if you have it on fast forward mode. But for right now, I'm going to keep it paused and do me some roads. You don't have to necessarily see the rest of this part, so I will cut to finish. Just like this. A nice grid pattern. This is how you want your city roads to look. And you do have some options of some more roads, like a one-way road. If you want even higher volume of traffic, you can use avenues. And then you have streets, and little side streets. But this is a city. There's going to be nothing but main road here. There we go, kind of like a passing spot there. And of course, there's also highways for the most volume of traffic, and if you want to get out of your city the fastest. You have the ground level, the elevator level, several, you also have like clover leaves, stuff you see on the interstate all the time. And one thing that I probably should have made room for is an airport. The one thing my cities have that's a must is an airport. And I'll just make it room for it at the corner here. Get rid of some of my grid pattern. Of the airport will be built. And of course, whatever you don't use, you can always fill back in. So airport can be right here. And there's a couple of ways to earn a few extra bucks if you're desperate on cash in the very beginning. You have, I have a couple of mods that gives you cash. I have this mod here. It's a money statue. It makes, you can see how much money it makes. But I consider that a little too much money. Down here you have, let's find it, this open grass area that makes a little more money. But of course, if you don't want, if you can't use up all that money at once, I have a secret trick and I can tell you in the end. So, I will show you how to make your money, but just an effort of not going broke in the very... Actually, I can't. I just realized I can't. I need water for it, so I can't. And that leaves cheats. Control X. You have weakness, pays, that go X, up, enter, that's 10,000. I think that's 1,000. If you want 10,000, you go risky money. But you don't want to do risky money all the time because I think it causes an earthquake. Yeah. It causes an earthquake. But if it didn't have any roads, there would be no collateral damage. Now that I have a few extra bucks to spend, I can show you everything else. When it comes to health and education, you don't necessarily want to put those down right away. But what I like to put down right away are everything else. And that leaves me to a cheat I utilize all the time. Control X. You don't deserve it. Everything's unlocked. Doesn't matter what it is, it's unlocked. And that cheat goes away as soon as you save and exit to your region or save and quit. And I put deluxe police stations down. And what that I like to do is see the radius of the deluxe police station. Make sure it's all funded to the max. So I go to crime. It takes up a majority of the map here. Put another one here. Put another. And if it doesn't take it up the rest of the way, just put another one there. Another one in this corner. And one in the very middle. That way you have it all. It's all covered. You won't. If there's crime in your city, it'll pay. And the only way it'll pay is if you go to jail. City jail. And you can put down a federal prison. They do hold more than a city jail, but your Sims won't like that very much. So it's best to just take the plunge, go, pay extra for the jail. Because the federal prison, it actually gives you money. But you don't want every other Sim dumping their problems in your town, so it's best just to keep the federal prison out of it. But if you're desperate on cash, go for it. What then I gotta do? This, and then I can show you the rest of everything else. The next thing I have to show you is the fire stations. You have your small fire station, your large fire station, and your fire department landing strip. Your landing strip doesn't come until later, but it's essentially helicopters for the fire department. Just put one there, and you can tell where it is on your map by going to fire hazard. One there, one here. Kind of doing it like every corner. And then I always like to put one in every corner regardless of radius, just to make sure everything's covered. The rest of the things are education and health. Now, I use there's only 3 that come with the game: Medical Clinic, Large Medical Center, Disease Research Center, Planet Fitness, and this large medical center, which I will use because it holds way more sims or mods. I've got a crap ton of mods. Mods, come with the game, mod, come with the game. It's like my mods and my landmarks are so intertwined. You would get annoyed by how many times I said mod. When it comes to modifications here, there really isn't many. There are some modifications that I do have for my landmarks. I can put a carnival down. See, cute little carnival. One of the funnier ones I have is this is Trump balloon. Remember that anti-Trump balloon a few years back? It was all over the news. So then I have that as a mod. And one of the more destructive ones I have is Explode. You can also do the same thing with Crater. I don't know why that's there. But I suppose if you want to do a little bit of destruction in your city, you can. Now, once I get all these roads fixed, I can get on and show you how to put zones down. Because the next thing I do is zones. When it comes to zones, I'm like a majority residential, a majority commercial, and not so much industrial, because industrial is where your pollution will come in. Of course, before you put your zones in, you're going to want your power plants. You don't deserve it, gives you the hydrogen power plant. It's expensive, yes, in more ways than one, but it's clean, reliable, and you get your money's worth out of it way faster than any other power plant. Water can be expensive too, but it's like water, it's a right, not a privilege. Unlike bathroom breaks in certain offices. I've never had bosses that say the bathroom is not a right, it's a privilege, but if you've ever had some crap experience like that, let me know. Sorry about that, but when my battery gets low, it really wants me to know. But while you were gone, I decided to finish the water pipes. And now it's time for everything to be funded to the absolute maximum. Transportation, public safety, health and education will be a second. But when it comes to sanitation, there's a city ordinance that they're not available right now, but it replaces your nuclear free zone, and it basically gets rid of your garbage. I found that on the simtropolis.com and the mods. I've never looked back. I've never looked back on garbage. But if let's say I wanted garbage, you have your recycling center, waste to energy plant in your landfill. The 2 mods I downloaded are this hyperspace garbage disposal, which is almost $10 million, and then this black hole waste management. I'll put down a black hole waste management. Just for the heck of it. And then later I'll show you what that city audience does. Now I am going to put down a very decent residential area up to the crater to the edge of the map. And you can see how there are these little side streets that pop up when you do this. You want to fill these side streets in. And like I said, it depends on how big your grid is. You could be doing this for 10 minutes or what feels like 10 hours. But the way I have my grid set up, it's narrow enough where I don't get that many roads. So I just quickly do a fill-in. And it may not take that long, but I may have to cut it just because time-wise. But you know what? I'll fill in the rest of the zones and do it then. My industry zone isn't going to be that large. Probably only about there. Could be some industry around the airport. Industry around here. Industry is a heavy polluter, and if you don't like pollution like I don't, you don't want that much industry. But yet again, industry is very important, so you want it some. There are some cities where I don't have any industry at all, and they're fine, but just for the tutorial here, I'm putting it in. Of course, you need a commercial zone. This is your office buildings and everything. You know, when you say you don't want to go to that work tomorrow and you work in an office building, it's in the commercial zone. A majority of your skyscrapers will be in this and the residential area. Your industrial area, probably not going to have any skyscrapers. And it looks like I'm out of funds. I'll be right back. I know a way to fix them. Well, I fixed my fund problem, and I actually know how to get rid of the majority of that money when I know I can actually have a decent profit in my city. Of course, still that all my roads are fixed and my zones and everything are good, it's time for some education and some health. Now, for health, I'm going to use that mod, but if you don't have mods, I recommend using a large medical center. And some medical clinics can actually help if you have a smaller city. I only need one of these hospitals and take up a shite ton of space. But it's a big hospital, big real estate. Oh shoot. Not what I meant to do. But actually, it's good that I do that because I can compare it. Large medical center. It's a large hospital. And comparatively, this large medical center, when it's funded to the max, can only hold 3,200 people. This hospital, when funded to the max, can hold 49,000 people. So it holds a lot more Sims. When it comes to hospital mods, every hospital is going to hold more than a large medical center, period. Even more than the disease research center. And education. When it comes to education, I don't skimp out whatsoever. I put in what feels like millions of schools, and let's go to education. I put down, oops, wrong charts. Where is it? Education. I'll put down to 4 of each school. 4 large elementary schools, 4 large high schools. Of course, with the high schools take up a little more real estate. 1. Alright. 2. Put the row down. I could only put down 3 and be happy, but 4 is good. 3. And the 4th one will go over here somewhere. Right where I don't have any schools. Just gotta get rid of those below. And I don't just stop at those types of schools. I put in a city college, a major art museum, and a big library. There's the college, major art museum, I'll go by the hospital. And just for clips and giggles, and just to check in on it from time to time and actually know where it is, put the main library. Actually, I was going to put it in the industrial section, but I don't want the Sims to drive across town. If I can't find it later because of big skyscrapers, I could always look at the education just to see where it is. That should be enough education for now, but no. I go even one step further than that. I put down private schools. And I go to where you see the glowing line there? That's where the radius burns out. And wherever the radius burns out, I put the private schools. And I got 3 private schools to put down. 3 there. And this private school here, I think we're going to put somewhere else just because it's impeding on the radius of another private school. The private schools shouldn't compete with each other. I suppose bitch Sims may like competition, but not like this. And you want to know what? I'll just put 2 down because it depends on if there's any poor education anywhere in my city later. I'll figure it out. And now with all this being said, education's down. And that's going to be the most expensive thing in your city is education and health. See how the education isn't funded all that well? Now it is. And now I'm 61,000 in the hole right now. With your taxes, 7%. You want your taxes to be 7% always. 7, 7, 7. I'll actually put less taxes on the rich and the middle class, and yeah, that's good. When it comes to when I see $3 signs, it's good to tax them less. Between 6 and 7. 6. I'll make you 6.5. 6. 6.5, and I'll keep you at 9. Actually, that would be rude. 8. Same down here with the high-tech industry. It'd be cool. It's nice to have a high-tech industry and keep moving forward with technology, so you'll be at 6. And my manufacturing industry will be at 6% as well. There's one thing I don't want in my city, but my demand is so high for everything anyway, it probably won't matter how much I tax it to. But my dirty industry, you don't want a dirty industry in your city if you want skyscrapers. I always make sure my dirty industry is taxed as high as it can go, at 20%. And I always make sure everything before I launch my city is funded to the max. School buses and ambulance, good, good, good. Utilities, good, good. Forget about the sanitation department. I'll show you that city audience. And if I can find all that cold garbage, then I could get rid of it right now. And the city audiences. The only audience that comes with the game is legalized gambling. But the mods I downloaded are Super Sim Jackpot and legalized medical marijuana. I don't want that. I want to fund everything. In this audience, this is usually the nuclear free zone, but it's that now. And one more thing before I launch my city. You can control what your buildings look like. You can have Chicago 1890, New York 1940. I mostly have Houston 1990 and New York Contemporary. But because I'm feeling creative, I'll go New York 1940. You get to see some old style buildings. And with that being said, let's launch my city and just you can see some of the landmarks you can put in. But before I launch my city, I'm going to want to save and exit and get rid if you don't deserve it. Because let's say you get something and you can't find it because everything is unlocked. So, save and exit to the region and cut right back. Now I can basically watch my city just grow. And while my city is growing in the background, I can tell you about all the charts and data nodes. You have your fire hazard, crime, education, desirability. Basically go down the list to see what's desirable, what's not. Your water, the power, your traffic, your zones, land value, mayor rating, which it's pretty low right now because my city is new. Or I could put a church down. And they want me to put the mayor's house down. Residents' average age, but it's going to get older as time goes on. And my health is going to get higher as time goes on as well. Air pollution, water pollution, garbage review data, and radiation contamination. And I found the black hole waste thing. I don't do that because I don't have garbage in my city. And you have your graphs. Your graphs are some different, but you can also see some of the same. Like here, crime, commute time, power, what your Sims use, and what the captivity is. Similar water. Air pollution is always going to go up, so are jobs and population, and water pollution. No garbage, education by age, population by age, life expectancy, resident average income, city income versus expensive, funds, demand, mayor rating, and traffic volume. That's basically all your graphs and all that stuff. You can take a closer view of that as if you were building a city and just looking up a tutorial. I could be here for hours explaining all those graphs. That's how detailed and intricate they are. It's pretty cool. And what just conspired when I was telling you about the graphs is I put a church down and my mayor's house is not going to come down. I'm going to put my mayor's house right here. And with my mayor's house, I'm going to put a couple of parks down. Basketball courts, tennis courts, got maybe like a skateboard parks. Oh, maybe even a carnival. turn them over here. Last thing I'll put down is maybe a couple of medium playgrounds. Oh, and let's say these car things get in the way. There is a way to turn them off. You go in, you see you can do your car training missions. Just you can turn them off with the bottom thing. And you can also have a sim move in to your city, and you can keep a track on what it's like to live in said city. So you have like Bob Newby, Gustav Knife and Fork, Tad Bit Too Much. How about Carmen Mercury? He can move. He'll move into Hyde condos. And I can change his car to a red exotic. And this lucky guy is never going to walk anywhere again. You can also do missions with him. And it's so cool, some of the car missions you can do. Like take for example this one, where you get more money but you lose some air rating by fleeing the city. Plus the shoot for the blinkers. My favorite part, you basically ride on the horn, and when your city is more developed, you can actually scare the living crap out of Sims. And that is like my favorite thing to do, is just to honk the horn and scare the heck out of Sims. Let's let my city develop just a little bit more here. And as you can see, it is developing quite nicely. And there's actually one thing I forgot. I can't control my air pollution, but I can control my water pollution. I can make my water pollution go away basically by putting in water treatment plants in the way of industry. There may be some water pollution like in some like the residential area, but it's not going to be as bad. Put one there and just see how it goes away. I basically put it down to 0. And I'm going to need to put another one right here. Go to zones. Basically put one here. I can de-zone it. And now it's basically a blank plot of land for me to put whatever I want now. Go to here. And basically my water pollution is now 0. As long as I keep those treatment plants there, it should be down to 0. Of course, water pollution will always pop up other places, so just put down more as the city progresses. And I'm at 4,500 Sims right now, and growing. And it's basically saying education is good. And now I can put down a convention center, because I have an airport. And those also must put me down, a stock market. But before that, I'll put a male statue down. And I always like to clump all my statues like in the same area, just so I can keep track of them. Like this is the first statue to put down, a mayor statue. Got impressive, like magnificent and colossal. Once my city progresses just a little bit more, you'll get to see the difference in all these, all the statues. Now, cemetery, church, country club, convention center. I'll get rid of even more of my industry because I just don't like it all that much. But whatever I get rid of, I can always rezone and it always comes back. I'll put my convention center down. My convention center will go right by the airport. A lot of people will probably just gonna fly in, go to a convention, stay the night in the hotel, skedaddle out. That seems right. Now, let's fast forward and watch my city go. 15. It's kind of satisfying just to watch your buildings just grow up into skyscrapers. And it's funny, it took a lot for my very first city to have skyscrapers, because now I have neighboring cities with sims with populations, and they basically grow skyscrapers here. My very first one wasn't necessarily that lucky. And now it looks like YouTubeopolis is turning into Invisible Waves. Looks like they want a radio station, and I will stick the radio station here. And it looks like SimCity is made on the west coast because it's K-Sim. If it was made on the east coast, it would be W-Sim. What are those the radio codes? I don't know. East coast, west coast. It's just the way it's always been. Check out my water pollution. That's a problem. No garbage. Check out my health. It's still poor, but health and education are always going to be poor for the first couple of years because education is still being developed. It's a brand new city. And here, it looks like the pilots did some elbow room. I can upgrade my airport from a small to a medium municipal airport. International airports, they're a lot bigger, but the same process goes. If there's too many people using it, it'll be upgraded to said. And my city is growing like crazy. And the first year, I got 31,000 sims. 36. And it looks like they want to give me another mayor statue. Gotta figure out, there's my mayor statues. My magnificent mayor, and my impressive mayor statue goes by my regular mayor statue. And it looks like they want a court. City court. Well, if somebody commits a crime. And, ooh, YouTubeopolis culture must simply have an opera. And the Bureau of Bureaucracy. I'll put the opera right here. Oh, I haven't shown any windows yet. Look at that. The next landmark I'll put down is the Bureau of Bureaucracy. And I need to put down my stock exchange. Stock exchange. Green fund. Where is it? Yeah. Ooh, and it looks like I need to upgrade my airport even more. And it's at the large municipal airport stage. I may have to upgrade this to an international airport. I think I'll do that. And to do that, I'm going to have to do some construction. Because the international airport is a lot larger. Go to zones. I am going to get rid of this. Basically up to this. And, you know, basically, whatever you don't use, you can always rezone. A nice big gap for the international airport. Put it down. I can't put it down because I need a little more room. What's it occupied by? Oh, I have a police station and a fire station I gotta get rid of, which I will re-put down. Alright. Let's basically just clean it up a little bit here. Put it up. Refresh it. And of course, I have to put the roads down. Road. Road here. Road here. Basically, if you see gray, turn to black. Because I'm thinking what it is the roads are paved and the streets are necessarily not paved. And that police station and fire station that I had to get rid of, I will put back down. Just at a different location. One there, and one here. Now that that's taken care of, I can fast forward some more. And you always want to check on your graphs, your data views, like your water pollution. Let's see if there's some more water pollution. But keep in mind, as your city grows, so will your water pollution. And it looks like they want me to put down another more bigger mayor statue. This is magnificent. From regular, impressive to magnificent. And when I get 120,000 Sims, it'll be a colossal mayor statue. And ooh, looks like they want a TV studio. Black. 10 commercials an hour. It would be nice if actual TV was 10 commercials an hour and not 10 commercials every minute. Which, commercials 30 seconds, if it's 2 a minute, but you know what I mean. And it looks like all the gaps of my city are filling in quite nicely. I got a nice developed city over here. Of course, there's a few patches that need to fill in, and they are filling in as time goes by. Let's take a look at my funds versus taxes. Looks like I'm not making all that much, so it's time to raise them. Everything's going to 7%. There we go. When I wanted to put 7%, I put the 7%. If you really want to lower it too, and you have all your city audiences, what I'm going to do is basically get rid of all the city audiences I don't need. The other one I need is this one. And that's because of my garbage. Later on, I could always re-put them in if I have a little extra dough on my hands. Getting rid of that. I now have a couple more thousand to play with. And my city monthly income is growing. It's just stuff like that takes time. And now that my city, I am going to basically cut at 100. Let's see. Once this is 100,000, I'll cut here and go to my grand finale. 93, 96, 102,000. My city has grown significantly since I cut off the camera. I even now have my colossal mayor statue. Look at it. It's quite colossal indeed. Now, I'm forgetting one important thing. SimCity is not SimCity without disasters. I need to show you the disasters of SimCity 4 before I go. I'll save the city once more before getting to the disasters. Oh, I can't wait. It's saved, and the first disaster is the Autosaurus. I will put him down on the hospital. It's basically a junkyard nightmare. With a stomp around, destroying stuff. But he's quite slow. Look at a snail's pace. But regardless of what pace he moves, that building gets destroyed. There's also UFOs. I'll spawn the UFO right here, right by Landmayor's house. I don't know if I spawned it or not. Oh, I see. It's just in SimCity 3000. I used to play that. You could tell when the UFOs coming. And that's scary. I have a feeling this UFO is going to do a lot of damage. Yeah, I was right. Everything destroyed. My mayor's house gone and everything. And then all these little UFOs are shooting all over the place. Next disaster, volcano. Causes the most destruction and really terraforms the earth, the land a lot more. Despite that lava flow, cause fire. Speaking of fire, fire. Click and drag, there's fire all over the place. I could also release meteors. I released a meteor right on here, right on the water treatment facility over there. Kaboom! Man, I just love destruction as much as I love construction. And it looks like the rest of the disasters are done and over with. That doesn't mean my Sims are going to get arrested. Robot attack. Get attacked by a robot. And I can make it move quite fast too. Ooh, this Victor robot destroyed this McDonald's factory that it's a mod. Destroyed. We also have a tornado. Typical tornado. Got your lightning. Causes fires. And last, but certainly not least, your earthquakes. And release for total destruction. This is why I like SimCity. I can build wonderful cities, create wonderful utopias, and I can also destroy them. I brought you into this world, I can take you out type of scenario. Well, I think I'm gonna leave you right here. My name is Just a Fun Guy. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Hit that bell icon, do all that great stuff. And until next time, I'm signing off.